Good morning, everyone. So I've been told my Wi-Fi is a little bit bad, so I'm sorry that if I'm lagging a little bit, but welcome. Really appreciate you joining the live stream today for our second volume of Celebrating Creativity, where we have 5 amazing presenters who are all going to be sharing something a little bit different about how they like to celebrate creativity of others, whether it's in the classroom or outside of the classroom, for kids or adults or whoever. They're all going to share their unique perspective on how they do that. So welcome, and I appreciate you joining today. If you like, you can share your Twitter handle or where you're from in the chat, and it's great to meet you all. So next, I'm going to introduce our first presenter, who is Amy.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Mel. Are you okay?
Good. So I'm going to add your amazing presentation to the stream now.
Fab. Thank you so much.
No problems, and enjoy. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. See you in a bit. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really excited to be here and talking about celebrating creativity, particularly with how we do that at Wakelet and how we do that within the community. So first, introductions. My name is Amy. I work on the community team. I'm community manager at Wakelet. So one of the main things is with what we do is to highlight and showcase educators across the world using Wakelet and other tools, and really this topic is perfect because that is what the core of the community is about. So Wakelet, for those of you who don't know us, we're a content curation platform. So we're actually based in Manchester in the UK. I'm actually in sunny Abersoch right now in Wales, but we are based in Manchester in the UK. But it's a place where you can save down all of your content from across the web and save that into one place that you can then share all of those resources out. But one really special thing about Wakelet is that we do have a community of educators who helped really shape and build what we have and what the platform means today. And that is the Wakelet community. So it really started as having almost like a small feedback group. But what we learned is in the education world, there are so many fantastic educators like yourselves out there who are continually coming up with new, innovative and creative ideas and ways to use tools such as Wakelet. So from this group, it expanded over time, and now we have this global community. And really, it is a huge celebration, and it kind of encompasses that creativity. It gives educators the opportunity to connect with others across the world. We have educators in all corners of the world, sharing and connecting and showcasing ideas, whether that's with webinars, like jumping on training sessions like this, webinars, or the activities that they're doing, even kind of doing global connections with using Wakelet and other tools. So it's a great way that they can connect with lots of people across the world and really showcase what they're doing in their own classroom, and so to inspire others in your classroom as well. So again, one of the things that we do with Wakelet within the community is we give the opportunity to educators to maybe jump on webinars. We have a community showcase webinar that we love to get everyone involved in. And so that's a really nice way for us to be able to highlight individuals and give them the opportunity to share all of these ideas, because like I said, with Wakelet, but other tools as well, there are so many different ways that educators are using the tool to enhance their students' learning and just to make it a lot more engaging for their students as well. With the community as well, we celebrate each member by giving them badges and certificates and things like that, which is great for their professional development because you can showcase that and show that along the way. But with the webinars as well, they can attend and they've got that certificate. You can use it as your evidence with your PD. If you need to evidence those hours and things like that, you can keep a record of them. So it's a great way to be able to enhance your own learning, but also share with others as well. And we also give the opportunity for educators to have that say in what Wakelet looks like. A lot of the tools that, or a lot of the features, I should say, that you see on Wakelet today are from us having these conversations, from us having a bit of feedback and ideas that are shared from others, and having those communications, having those conversations, or even seeing something on Twitter. Someone's done something, but maybe it wasn't quite how they needed to do it. And maybe we've formed the creation or formed the feature around what they were trying to accomplish. And so Take Spaces, one of our features with Wakelet, that was from educators coming to us and wanting that place to collaborate, wanting that sort of separate part away from their home area to be able to collaborate not only with their colleagues, but with their students as well. Give them that place that they can create their own collections and share resources amongst that one space as well. So it's a great way in all of celebrating creativity. So really, I'm going to touch on a few more specific things that we do. One of which is something that I love to do, and something you can do within your own school or your own classroom, or across, even your district or anything like that. But we do a Community Wave newsletter. And I love being able to put this together because it really gives us the opportunity to showcase and shine a light on individuals who have shared really cool ideas, whether that's on Twitter, whether that's done a YouTube channel and shared it, or whether it's even sent us an email with a collection that they've created. And it's a really nice way to be able to showcase that. And then, some areas you don't get that highlight. You don't always get that recognition for those things. And I know as educators, you don't always get that recognition for coming up with these ideas. And we love to see it. So one of the ways we do this, and I recommend if you have one or you're wanting to do one, maybe for your class, for your students or colleagues, everyone loves that, that bit of recognition, that bit of highlight as well. But also it means that not only are you sharing these ideas and we're showcasing them for yourself and giving the praise there, but it also, enables you to support others as well. Maybe there's another educator out there who's been looking for a way to deliver a certain lesson or do something creative with their students, and your idea has sparked that and really solved that problem for them as well. So yes, it's to showcase and celebrate educators who are going very above and beyond to think of all of these creative ideas, but it also inspires others with their creativity and sparks ideas for them as well. And I've included some feedback just there as well, just with when we've highlighted individuals. And it is, like I said, we love seeing them, because when I do webinars and when I'm sharing how others can use Wakelet, it's so great to be able to look at those as reference. I'm not a teacher, I'm not in a classroom, so it's really valuable. And then to see these being showcased and to be able to share them with others as well. So a newsletter is a great way to be able to highlight and showcase those, recreate ours on Wakelet. But there's lots of ways that you can do that. But like I said, just highlighting and showcasing and crediting where deserved as well, which is a really nice way to do it. And like I said, it inspires others to do the same. Another thing that we do as well is we have quite a few different activities, of course, in the community. But one thing that a couple of the team worked on with the SDG program is we were seeing a lot of different ideas and collections being created around the SDGs, and we wanted to bring those together. So we gave educators an opportunity to get involved and express their thoughts, ideas on how best to deliver. I think it was 17 UN SDG goals. That's it. So they're able to collaboratively put these together. So they were able to connect with others from across the world, but work on these different ideas. So within each of these collections, you have educators who have put something like this together, and they've put together tasks, they've put together activities that students can get involved in, all to exercise and learn more about the SDGs and complete courses and things like that as well. So I love seeing collections and profiles like this, where we've had a number of community members, leaders, ambassadors working together to put something like this in place. We gave them the opportunity to work with each other on a topic they were passionate about. And although we gave them guidelines about what we kind of wanted and what they kind of had to be, they had full creative control on what they were doing. So this is something that you could replicate again in the classroom, giving them the opportunity to maybe give out the guidelines, but they have creative control on how they put that together, how they present that, how they showcase that, give student choice. So they're able to actually present that how they want to as well. So it's a really nice way for you to be able to pull all of those ideas together, and then you have something fantastic to showcase and share afterwards as well. And again, that's a one-stop shop for other educators who want to take a look and work through those tasks again as well. And then one of our big events that we absolutely love to do, we've done it 3 years now in a row. So it's fantastic. We just had the last one in June. So it's usually around June. And this is really a week-long celebration of our community and their creativity, really. It's a virtual event that we do, and we put that on, like I said, around June, and they're able to jump on. We get a lot of the community involved. We do a 12-hour live stream, which is really cool, because we have around sort of 30, I think it was 36 educators this year who were jumping on from across the world. So no matter where you were in the world, you were able to get involved, and they were able to share how they're using Wakelet in 15 to 20 minutes. And again, share how they have been creatively using Wakelet and inspire others to do the same. And there's lots of different activities that we do throughout that week as well. We do networking, which is a really great way for them to be able to connect, because of course, you know, we've got people in all corners of the world. We don't always get to bring everyone together. But with the networking sessions, we've done that the last 2 Wakelet community weeks, which has been really fun to see everyone connect and again, share ideas. So putting on events like these, even if it's just small or with a neighboring school or neighboring district, is a really nice way for either teachers or students to actually connect and share their ideas as well. And if you did miss it, you're not too familiar with it, you can catch all of the sessions on our YouTube channel. They're all available to see and look back on. But like I said, it's a really good opportunity to shine a spotlight on our ambassadors who are doing fantastic things within their communities in sharing Wakelet. So it gives everyone an opportunity to highlight that and showcase them, and for everyone else to see, and like I said, inspire others as well. So those are just a few things that I wanted to touch on today. But like I said, the Wakelet community is all about celebrating creativity, and there's so many different ways in which you can do that. I've put my handles on there as well. So if you aren't a part of the community and you want to get involved, it's also a great way to start on Wakelet if you're not too familiar with it. We send you lots of resources and things like that. So lots of ways that we celebrate creativity and just the amazing work that educators do in general. So yeah, that's me. I'm going to jump back. And yeah, that was all from me.
Okay, so thank you very much, Amy. That was an amazing share about Wakelet. So many different things. I'm sure maybe people are a little bit overwhelmed, but in a good way. So many options, and I'm sure people can reach out to you if they've got any questions about what you shared.
Yes,
thank
please
you.
do. Thank you so much for having me. This is such a wonderful event, and I know the next few speakers are going to be fantastic. So enjoy.
No problem. See you soon. Bye.
See you soon. Bye, guys.
Okay, so the next presenter I'm going to introduce you is Kiki. Hello, Kiki. Okay.
Hello.
I'm going to. Are you sharing your screen? Then I
I
can pop
am.
it up.
I'm going to be sharing my screen.
Okay.
Here we go. I
While
have it in
Kiki's doing that.
presentation mode, so it's
Okay.
easier for people to see.
Okay. So, okay, welcome Kiki and enjoy, and I will see you soon.
Hi everyone. I hope everybody is well. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday and choosing to spend an hour with us and learn and get ideas from us. So this is creativity through Canva, and I am going to go through the process of my ideas, some of the ideas of how I use this, not only to hi Isaac. Thank you for joining. This is some ideas of how you can celebrate yourself first, because it's very important. Remember, self-care is not selfish. And then how you can celebrate your community, your students, and how you can include everybody else in the process. So let's get started. So this is something that I put together just to show you who I am. So this is who I am. So you can celebrate yourself first. Create your own bio. This is a card that you can create, and you can include that in the chats, which is an amazing part that Canva can help you create. You can choose your colors. You can choose your the elements that you can add, and you can have so much fun with that. The next thing that we're going to talk next a little bit more extensively about how Canva can help with creativity, the different aspects of an educator's life, and your own, because you can choose to share in social media as well. And I'm going to show you how. So this is something that I made on my phone using Canva, because Canva has also an app and a website that you can access on your phone. And I even wrote in Greek in this one. It was a challenge on a Saturday morning, I believe. And they're like, okay, make a creation regarding creativity. And when Mel said we're gonna celebrate creativity, celebrating others, that's the first thing that popped in my mind, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to add that. So I wanted to show you that you can very quickly create something on your phone. You can do so on if your students have iPads. You can choose a theme after a project, after your project-based learning, and around that they can create something very, very quickly using GIFs, pictures that they take around the classroom, and be super creative like that. And you can also share with the families, your administration, other stakeholders like the parent coordinator, the psychologist, people around the community that would like to celebrate your school. Of course, please, before you do that, remember to get the permission if the students include an image of themselves, or are there specific information about themselves, just to avoid any issues regarding HIPAA, FERPA, or CORPA. Okay, so Twitter chats, my favorite thing. And I want to share that I am part of the Rethink Learning chat. I am the third one that was onboarded by Barbara Bray, who is amazing. She's such a good friend. And I create the chat visuals, and people from the community, educators, coaches, administrators, people who connect with the chat, can come and answer these questions. So I use my creativity so I can inspire creative answers. So I have the whole chat. I chose one that was recent. This is the first question, and you see it had a video. This is the second question. This is the third one. And this is the fourth question. So when I like to choose video because it just enhances what I want to illustrate, I want to ask, and then people can join in and respond to the question. It's a very fun process, and I wish upon to everyone. Yes, you have enjoyed. I know, Isaac. Thank you for saying that. I will add at the end, and hopefully Mel will share the Rethink Learning chat. It's on a Wakelet. As Amy, we're going to bring this around full circle. As Amy said, Wakelet is a great way to store resources, share with friends, and another aspect of it is that you can store all the chats there. And oh, you love the video? Thank you, Isaac. Isaac is making these comments. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you. Such a true friend. Okay, so this is what you can do to create something very fun. Let's say you go to an art gallery. I went to the Queen's Museum, and there was this wonderful, what does AI need from you? Because there's all this big debate about AI in our lives. And I saw this as an example to my students, and we created our own art. So how can art inspire you to create your own art? So you go to a museum, you go to a library, you go out in the community, and you can take the pictures. You can have a photographer to take pictures, one of your students, right? And then you can come back to class, put it together as a collage, and then get reactions written on it. The students can have their own student account, or they can do that on yours, whichever way you prefer, as a group, as small groups. You can also assign this, give this as an assignment. It can be the end of the day. It can be an exit ticket. Definitely. Yes. So Twitter is very inspirational. Yes. Yeah. You see what other people do, and then it's like, I do, you do, we do, Teachers College. So this is just another idea that I want to throw out there for you. And let's not forget our SEL. So here we go. You can create this on Canva, in Canva. And then my favorite thing, the waterfall of emotions. So I would like to ask you, I cannot really see the chat in YouTube, and I don't know how many of you are there. But if you would like to do me a favor, I would like to give you a little challenge, and we will be seeing this. I will be seeing this at the end because I'm going to watch it back. I want you to write down how you feel right now. Don't do anything. I'm going to count to 3. Just type it. I'm going to count to 3, and then we're going to do the waterfall. So how do you feel right now with one word? And then I'm counting to 3. 1, 2, 3. And then all your emotions are going to count down as a waterfall. And that's a fun way to do this. You can do this in class. You can create an actual waterfall. You can give out Post-its, and you can actually have the kids put one under the other. Grateful. Yes, I'm glad. Happy. Yes, I love it. Hopeful. Oh, guys, you're amazing. Inspired. Mel, I love you. Okay, moving along. So this is a common exercise that I like to do with my kids. It's called 478. It's a video that you can embed in Canva. I just put that here so to show you that you can actually embed a video that you can actually do with your class. It's not just for questions, so your question can look pretty. It's an actual YouTube video that you can embed in, and the students can practice anything. In this case, mindfulness. So this has to do with breathing, 478. So you breathe in for 4, you hold for 7, and you slowly take out for 8. So we can, I don't want to take time because I have 4 more slides. So let's do this.
This is a deep breathing exercise that will allow your body and mind to become calmer. Go ahead and make yourself comfortable as you gently close your eyes. You will inhale through your nose for a count of 4, hold the breath for a count of 7, and exhale through your mouth for a count of 8.
Ready?
Don't worry if you aren't exact here. Just do your best. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Inhale,
Okay.
1.
So we did that. I just wanted to do this very quickly with you. We already had your second presenter. Mel spoke at the beginning. It's always good to have little breaks for self-care. It's a Saturday, let's not forget. So moving along. So actual trips. Let's go. Let's say I work summer school, and we went to many, many places. However, we did a small community walk once a week with my students, and we went to McDonald's so they can play around. And I put together something that I sent to the parents, to the families. So include the families, why not? They are part of the creativity. And I had the students help me out, choose a picture. I said, come here, click. And then we dropped the pieces all together. I showed them how to do it. And then we put together a little collage. I have put a sticker in front of the student's face to protect their privacy. And you can have the students play around with little collages. Yes, and then you include the family. And again, if you have permission, you can include other stakeholders as well. And the creativity stays with your students. However, it transfers to the parents as well. Remember, Canva gives you your own account, and the students can have their own account. And my students are in the autistic spectrum, so it's easier for me to start everything on my account, and then I show them little things that they can do to be included in the creative process. So don't be afraid. Nothing breaks in Canva. You can always back out of everything. Go back and fix it. And attitude for gratitude. This is something that I do for myself. So whenever I feel that there is something that I can add inside my little virtual vase, I just put it in things that I like, something that inspired me, something that I need to focus on. So this is my gratitude jar, something that you can all do. And I hope you enjoyed the presentation. I don't know how fast I went, and I don't know if I have more time, but I would like to give the gift of time to the rest of my presenters. And Mel, I'm putting in the chat the oh wait 1 second. I'm sorry, I said the StreamYard link. No, the Rethink learning chat from the Wakelet collection. So for everybody to enjoy. Thank you so very much for this opportunity. Mel, love you.
Well, thank you so much, Kiki. So many ideas as usual. If you guys don't know Kiki, she has so many things in her brain and lots of creativity that she likes to share. But yeah, I'll share out your Wakelet to the Twitter chat and the YouTube chat in a moment. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing, Kiki, and we'll see you soon. Okay.
See you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Bye-bye,
No
sweetie.
problem. See you soon. Bye. Okay, so next up we have Pili from Mexico. Let me bring you up here. Here's the amazing Pili. Do you want me to share anything right now or no? You're good.
Not yet, not yet.
Okay, all right. So welcome, Pili, and see you soon. Have fun.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm in Monterrey, Mexico. I teach chemistry. And so when Mel said that she wanted us to share how we celebrate creativity, I thought, well, I give lots of activities to my kids that I want them to do them in a creative way. And the way that I celebrate it is usually I post it and in some of my social media, or I share it to the communication department of the school so they can share it in their social media. I couldn't find some of the things that I do every year. One of them is that I make them do a periodic table poster, like very big. It's like 2 meters. What is it, like 4 meters wide and almost 2 meters tall. And then we create a periodic table where they, instead of placing like the regular information, they placed a drawing. Like, wait, they do place the symbol of the element, and but they place a drawing that represents that element, like its uses or how does it go. So I couldn't find the pictures that I have of those posters that I do, and that they stay up for like 2 months or three in one of the boards of the classroom. So we have done this for several years, but in the year that we were online, we did it digital because I didn't want to stop doing this activity where they find out information about the elements. They learn a lot through the process. So I wanted to share that with you. Yes, Mel, if you can help me with sharing my screen. So this is the poster that we did. We did it on slides, and so you can see how there are some black letters. Those letters are from the students that didn't do their assignment. But anyways, so each one of those element symbols, it's a link to a poster. So that's what I'm going to show you. For instance, if I click on carbon or calcium, let's say calcium, it opens up the poster that the student did with the information about calcium and where you can find it. So in this particular case, the student said, well, you can find that in pills. Not very creative on their part, but cool enough. And then there's carbon. I think this is one of my favorite ones because they put like different places where you can find carbon, like in the graphite of a pencil and in a diamond and such. So that was the thing that we did. And the point of doing this is that we could share the link to this presentation to the parents so that they could see their kids' work. The other thing that I do is that I have them put stuff up in a Wakelet. So like Amy mentioned, like Wakelet is a way to showcase stuff. So I did this one. I think this is a little bit older. I think it's from 3 years ago when we first started to go online, and it shows like when you click on the link for this, it just says Canva, but if you click on the link, it opens up the infographic that they did about their project. So I feel like these tools of digital, it's a digital way that we can showcase stuff. I don't have it open either, but we do have, for instance, for the last science fair, like the last 3 science fair that we've done in the school, because we haven't been in person, we did that in a Google site, so the parents could go in the site and check out their kids' projects and presentations. So yeah, it's a way to how do you say this, collect all the information in one place. Even if you don't have even if you do have an LMS, we use Google Classroom, and I still like to put it all in one same place. For instance, this one of the history of the periodic table was an activity that we did last year. We were already in hybrid mode. And so the kids did some of their work online, some of their work in person. And I wanted them to put it in one single place so I could see it. Some of them did not get that they needed to do it in a way that the PDF would show like this. So it didn't matter. I just clicked on it and it would open up. Most of the ones that did it this way and it just the words PDF is because they did it on slides and they posted up as a PDF like I asked, but it was 2-pager, so it wouldn't show us an image on the Wakelet. This girl is really good. This girl did this timeline, and you can see it from, since you are in the Wakelet. This one was an infographic, really well done, and so on and so forth, right? So this is the way that I celebrate the kids' creativity. I put it up in a way that is pretty to look at, and when I share it with them, they feel proud of the things that they did. Now, one year, I got this as a present. Can you guess what that is? Yeah, so these kids did 100 and something cupcakes. And you believe that work? So yeah, they did 100, and I think it was 118 or something cupcakes. Yes, and they made them in different colors to show, like, yeah, delicious and educational, Trevor. That's correct. So they did this to show me that they liked my class, but I was so proud of their effort. I didn't ask for this. This was not a project. They did it on their own. I remember because one of the kids that I had, I don't know if you see it on the corner of the right, it says Camila and Ceci. Camila, her mom used to be the chemistry teacher before me. And she said she was like super envious of this effort that her kid did. But I was like super proud of this, and I had this in my Facebook. JT is yeah, it is a periodic table. I had this in my Facebook as my back, like the poster thing that you put on the heading, for years, because it was amazing. And so I didn't know what to do with that many cupcakes. We were only like 90 students in the generation, so we had to share around the school so people could eat some cupcakes because it was like too cool. So yeah, I think that's it. That's all that I wanted to show you. What are the things that I do for celebrating the creativity of my students? I put it out there wherever it's possible to be seen. I put it on my social media. I share it with the communications department, so they put it in the social media of the school. We make it visible in the school. We used to do this timeline thing. We used to do it in posters. And place it around the classrooms, because in my school the teachers are the ones that move classrooms, so they would put it in their classrooms so they would see it. Like everybody who would come into the class would see the work that they did. We would leave it up for like a week maybe, and stuff like that. Right, I like these girls are already like graduates from college, so it's been a while. But it was when, I don't know, it was what, my third year teaching chemistry, and I was amazed by their efforts. So I think what happens here is that when we celebrate the way that they show their learning, is that they will learn the most. And remember that the content of our subjects when we teach them might not be relevant to their lives later on, but the way that we make them feel while they were learning that is what they remember. I've had kids tell me, like, later on they reach college and stuff, like, I don't think I learned a lot of chemistry, they say, because it was a difficult subject, but you taught me uh, how to be perseverant, and how to keep trying and fail forward and stuff like that. So that's wonderful to see, and I think it's part of celebrating their efforts, um, in the way of the work that they do, which for me, it's always creativity on their part. I give them an idea and they develop it however they want. And that's my share. That's what I wanted to show you today.
Thank you, Philly. That was so cute. I didn't realize that students, well, I mean, they always surprise us, right? We never know what they're going to come up with. But thank you for sharing. I appreciate you being here to be able to do that today. And yeah, I will see you very soon.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so next up we have a Trevor, famous Twitter person. Okay, so I'm going to share his presentation now, and welcome to all the amazingness. And you just muted yourself. I don't know if you realized that. And I will take myself off the screen and enjoy the presentation.
Okay, didn't realize I muted myself. Hey everyone. First thing I'd like to say is when Mel invited me to be on a session where we were looking at celebrating the creative ways that educators are celebrating creativity, I was very excited. And it's an awesome thing, and Mel has been doing this for a long time, especially with things like her showcasing all of the Adobe creative challenges, monthly creative challenges. So Mel, thank you for having me. Who am I? I have been an educator for about 20 years. Most of my time has been in the high school English classroom. Last couple of years, I've been working as an educational support teacher, focused on technology. So I've been helping students and teachers incorporate and integrate technology into their teaching and learning. So I am a big proponent of creativity in the classrooms, but my background in showcasing creativity actually comes from when I was a student myself in high school. So my presentation, I'm going to go through it at breakneck speed. Beauty about YouTube is you guys can always watch it later and slow it down so you can hear what I'm saying. All right, so when I was in high school, I was a zinester. And if you don't know zines, a zine is kind of a little homemade magazine. And I had so many creative friends. All my friends, I was a punk rock skateboarder. All my friends were either musicians or artists. So with this, I started a zine because I wanted to showcase. I wasn't a musician. I had some artistic talent, but I really wanted to showcase what my friends were doing because there was just so much talent. And through this, we created a bit of a community, and yeah, we were all creating together and sharing together, which is what it's all about. So this is where it all started for me, and this, of course, expanded into me growing into a bigger community and showcasing more stuff. But we don't have time to talk about that, so I will continue. But the big thing is the idea of creating a creative community. Now, I was a little creative with how I approached this topic, and I decided to focus on the things that I feel are important with celebrating community, instead of like talking about different platforms that I use. I know like Isaac or Alec, uh, Alex Isaacs, last week in his session, he talked about Wakelet and Adobe, which are two of my favorites. We heard about Canva earlier today. So I just thought I'd look a little bit at what I think is important to kind of foster a creative classroom. So first one, create a creative community, get everyone involved in creation. And very importantly, kind of tear down these creative silos. I remember when I was a student and we'd get a project where we could do artistic stuff, it was really kind of sitting by ourselves, maybe in a small group, and just kind of off on our creating based on whatever criteria the teacher gave us. It was pretty structured. You didn't get a lot of choice. It is better in classrooms I've been witnessing these days, but that still exists. And I think it's important that we get people creating together and we do things like class projects and school projects where everyone's doing their own elements of creativity, but not to totally cut out people who do create better individually. So with this, after you start thinking about how you want to create and how they're going to interact with each other about creating, as teachers, one of the hard things is embracing the mess. Creativity is messy business, and a lot of teachers, myself included, we like order, we like structure, and creativity is not that at all. It's different for everybody, and we all have to get down and we all have to figure out what works for us, and it's going to be different for everybody, and we have to be able to work with that, right? So very important to be able to embrace that mess. Again, going very quickly here. Another thing, as an instructor, it's important to engage in the creativity. Now, what I mean by that is not just by mentoring and creating yourself, which I think is extremely important. That's a lesson I learned as an English teacher when we did writing projects, and always making sure to model and write along with the students. Well, it's important to create with the students as well, so they can see your successes and failed attempts, I guess, your reworkings. But also, it's really important to engage in dialogue throughout the creativity, throughout the process. We tend to put a lot of emphasis on product when we're talking about creativity, but there is also, we have to celebrate the process of creativity. And I think this is a key factor. It is the whole idea of celebrating process. But first, since we do such a great job for the most part with the idea of celebrating product, that is important too. This is where all those platforms that we were talking about, the Wakelets, the Adobes, Canva, Book Creator, even OneNote, extremely important. And they are so great at showcasing what students are doing and how they are creating. I know in my experience, we always use digital portfolios. So, using something like Wakelet or Adobe or even OneNote, as I said, to collect all of the creative work that students are doing so it's all in one place is incredible. It's a powerful tool. It's a great way for assessment at the end of the year so students can walk through what they have done and how it hits different objectives that the course has. And they really lead that part of the assessment, right? Which is fantastic. But stuff like that, sometimes we have to be careful in making sure that there is an authentic audience that goes along with it. So a lot of times these portfolios, it really just becomes a teacher tool. It is something that students just kind of throw in their work and don't necessarily always think about it. Or if they do, it's just schoolwork, right? It's not something that they really necessarily celebrate. It's something that they know they will have to revisit as a reflection. But other than that reflection, what is the point, right? So it is important to have some creative activities where they actually have that authentic audience. So like one of the projects I'm hoping to do this year with a school is to have the Hall of Creators. And the idea is actually stealing an idea from one of the Adobe monthly challenges. I'm going to get classes to highlight a creator, and they're going to have an image of them and then some words that describe them. And then we are going to make some videos where they give a short presentation about their creator. And the creator can be anyone. It could be anyone from like an artist to an athlete to their parent, right? But then they give a presentation talking about why they chose them as a creator. They're going to do the same thing for themselves, and then they will all be mixed in the hallway with QR codes. And then students, class by class, can go through and start scanning the QR codes and learn about different creators that are important to the school, right? So anyway, authentic audience is important. They have to know that someone is going to see what they're doing and with reason, right? All right, I'm going to keep going here just because of time. The next part, as I said, this is the part that I really want to stress is celebrating the process. And celebrating the process is key because most of our creativity takes place during the process. It's not the final product. The final product, when you hit there, you're done. But if we want to celebrate people creating, we should be celebrating them creating, not when they're finished, not just when they're finished. It's important to celebrate their successes and their products, but it should be going throughout. So how do we do that? Again, engaging in the process, having those conversations, getting in there with the students, having those conversations with each other. And you want to have a supportive community of creativity and risk-taking and whatnot. So when I think about the process of creativity, I turn to the expert, and the expert to me is Mr. John Cleese. Now, John Cleese has this wonderful book called Creativity, where he talks about his process of creativity and 5 or 6 things that he feels he needs to be creative. For me, 2 that really jump out is designated time. So again, as an English teacher, as my background, I always made time for independent reading. I made time for writing, but I never made time for creativity. And I think this is something that, if possible to work into your schedule, is extremely important. And I know we do a lot of things now with like passion projects and stuff like that. But what I see a lot of that is really a unit and then it's forgotten about. So we give them that opportunity to explore, to create, and 1 unit, and we push it aside, and then it's back to the teacher focused, well, not teacher focused, but organized, I guess, style of classroom. But if we designate time like once a week, even half a period once a week, every week from the beginning of the school year to the end of the school year, it, I think, can have great rewards. I mean, creativity, it's like any other skill. It's something that we have to keep working with and practice and grow it, right? The other thing Mr. Cleese said was a designated space. And with the space, I mean, this is hard in schools because I know a lot of schools have limited space, and a lot of the time the creating is just at their desk in the classroom. that's fine, and that's sometimes all we have. Um, but if you have something like a makerspace, and we use a makerspace not just as kind of a glorified arts and crafts room, but as a place where they can explore writing, they can explore coding, they can explore arts and crafts, they can explore whatever they want to create with. Um, it's fantastic. If you don't, just have time in the class where they know, and have them set up where they would like their creative space to be, whether at their desk or somewhere else, and give them that opportunity to explore their space. Going quickly here, we talked about designated space. Again, as a teacher, when you give them this liberty to create, again, with the embrace the mess, our job with creativity is more to guide, not to ride the students. We want to make sure they're aware of their objectives. We want to guide them. We want to engage in helping them make the right choices. But again, if you tell them the objectives and they start creating, they will be able to tell you how they are hitting the objectives, right? And if you keep those conversations up, you will know that they are on the right path. And through having these discussions, you are going to show that you care, which is extremely important, because that is how you build relationships. It is how you are going to create creative risk takers, and it is how you're going to make a safe space for your students to create. That's probably about 10 minutes. So thank you for your time. Mel, once again, thank you for having me. And yeah.
That was amazing, Trevor. And I was gonna pop up say, just take your time, take a bit more time. It's okay. You don't have to rush through all the things. That was pretty inspiring. So many ideas there, and the chat is, yes, people are thankful. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate you being able to share today, Trevor. It's great to have you here. Okay. And
Thank you.
and next time you can share a bit more. It's okay. Okay, so I'm going to take you off the screen, and I'm going to bring our next presenter up, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Okay, so our final presenter today is Sheila from Guatemala. Okay.
Hi, Mel. How are you?
Great.
Thank
So
you for creating
inspiring.
this space. Yeah, so inspiring for so many ideas. And well, I hope that these ideas, the ones that I bring, help you also celebrating
Of
this creativity.
course.
So
Of course.
we'll see how it
Okay, so
goes.
I'm going to bring up your screen.
Yeah, thank you.
And yes, okay, so I will see you soon, Sheila. Have fun.
Thank you, Mel. So, celebrating creativity for me is bringing inspiration and a growth mindset to the classroom, not only for the students, but also for teachers. So they can find different solutions to different problems, because nowadays we really need to use our creativity in order to grow and to find another way to do things. Okay. So in our school, we created this digital portfolio where students can show different ideas and different ways to express themselves, and also to describe how their adventure in high school has been. So we started last year, and we had some good ideas coming in, and the students have to choose different works that they have done in these 4 domains. So domain number 1 was lifelong learning, which is more to the dedicated to the academics. The social emotional competence, we have different activities at our school that the students can choose from. Collaboration with others, that was another way to show how they have been working together as a team. And finally, we have the domain number 4, which is how they can show themselves as a global citizen. So let's see if we can share this with you here. I have an example of one of the students, but I think that you cannot see my screen. So let me see
No,
how we can make it work. I'm going, Mel, maybe you help me with this. And
yep.
I'm going to share this label, this tab. I have 3 tabs, so we're going to stop sharing and then share again. So
Okay,
this
I'll add
is
your new
the
one.
yeah. So this is the work from one of the students he graduated last school year. Right now he is in Monterrey. He went I know he decided to stay in Guatemala. His plans was were to go to Monterrey to study. And this is what he did. He used Google Slides in order to show his portfolio. He included the 4 domains here, and he had specific works. For example, they participated in the Market Watch, which is a live game for a stock market. In psychology, they made this character creation. So he included the presentation that he made, the final product. And also in the Literatura Hispanoamericana, they created this digital notebook about um, one of the Julio Cortázar's books, La Isla Mediodía. It's a short story. So he put everything together along with this reflection why he was including these samples into his portfolio. For emotional competence, he included something about his family tree because it was hard for him to really find out the history of his family, and he make it uh, uh, through these cards. So he is telling the story about this in collaboration with others. He included this game that they made. They took this movie Against the Impossible as the main topic of the PBL. This was a PBL activity, and they said that they use this movie as the basis for their matrices, and this is mathematics. Who Killed the Teacher project, that was also a mathematics project, and he included all the process. As Trevor was saying, we need to celebrate the product, but also the process, and over here he included all those steps. And then for Global Citizen, he included this was a research that they made about the pollution in one of our rivers in Guatemala. So he said that this also helped him understand why Guatemala is lacking resources nowadays. And finally, he included a conclusion about his adventure in high school and a picture of the whole class. All right. So this is one of the ways that we celebrate creativity here. I'm going to share my screen again. Um, Let me see. And the next way is this. This is another tool that I think that has helped us a lot in my school. We use Book Creator in order to help our students put all the things that they have done in 1 or 2 classes together. For example, this ones here is the final project for art. They placed all their best samples into the portfolio, and also they use this other one for creating a live project. During the year, students begin writing their mission and their vision and their dream, what they want to be in the future. So they created those elements into different platforms like Docs, maybe Google Sheets, and then they put it together into this Book Creator library. And after that, I think that what Trevor said really relies on what I'm presenting. This live project was presented to the parents of the students. So we had these online meetings where parents can check on the students' work and what they plan to do in the future. Some of them told me, Sheila, now I know that I'm going to be a grandfather of 2 children within 10 years. So that was really fun. And the students knew that they had to present it to their parents. And that really made a little difference in the way they were doing the process, so they can have this final product in a good way. And then and another way to celebrate creativity for my teachers, at the end of the year they have to write a reflection, what worked, what didn't work for them during the year. So we created this space. I'm going to share now with you. So we created the space and where they can share everything that they have done during the year. They had to include specific samples of the work that they did during the whole year. So you can see this is the space that we created. We have the instructions, end of the year reflection. Here is what they had to do. And you're going to see the instructions here. It says, I love Canva here, so this integration really worked. So this is the instructions for them. They had to open the space, of course, and then in the collection, they had to include an activity that they enjoy the most, one activity that was used as an assessment, a sample of the most created outcome from your students, and a sample of the outcome that shows your students' growth. So they created the collection into the space, and we organized it according to the subject area. So we have the math teachers together, science, Spanish and Spanish lit, language arts, social studies, and electives. In the electives, we have the music teacher, the art teacher, and the technology teacher. And they really included different work from the students. And something that I would like to share with you is that the teachers were asked to come up to the front and show their collection to the rest, and they were really proud of what they have done. And they said, okay, now we know that what is it like when we ask our students to look for important works or important samples of the work, and they created these collections. So this is going to help us every year just to share it with the next teachers, or if we want to show what our teachers do in high school. For example, this one in Hades, this was our American Lit teacher. Uh, she had to move to Canada, so she was working online. And something that really caught my attention was that she handled to create this Socratic seminar, and also the students were able to create their own dystopian book. And she used Google Slides in order to for the students to put everything together. So they created a whole world with different characters, and the way they had to, when you have a dystopian world, you need to fight even for food. So they created all these steps into this project. All right. So that is what I have to share with you. And thank you for joining us today. So I'm calling on Mel.
Hello, Sheila. So thank you so much for sharing. That was a lot of amazingness. I mean, so much. I mean, people are saying that in our chat that yes, you're all very inspiring. So
Thank
because
you. Thank
okay, I'm
you.
gonna it's okay. I'm gonna bring everyone else up. I don't know if Kiki is alive or not, but I'll bring her up anyway. Probably not. But okay, so I want to say a big thank you to you all. I mean, like some of you overlap with some tools, right, that you use, but the way that each of you use them are so different. And I mean, they're so versatile, right? Like how we celebrate the creativity of others or how we encourage others to be more creative. I'm just so grateful that you're all able to be here today to actually share your perspective. So never feel like what you're sharing, like, oh no, this is like not okay. I mean, it's going to inspire someone. I mean, even if you don't think it's inspiring yourself, it is. So I just wanted to ask each of you if you wanted to say something before I share your contact details and explain how the next couple of weeks is going to run. Who wants to go first? I'm going to
I'll
pick
go. So I don't know. I want to wish the people that are going back to school the best. I recently returned, and I was not ready. We're trying to keep a positive mindset, right? So hopefully all these new ideas shared by everybody will give us some good feelings to to put into practice this year.
Yeah, thank you, Mel, for creating this space where we could share these ideas. I think that coming back, from the pandemic, everyone was virtual, and now kids are coming back to school. We started last week with all students on campus, and it really made a big difference. Now, teachers know that they can handle technology, for example, and they are including more strategies into their practices, and this is something that is changing. And we really hope in our school that we don't go back, to those. Oh, okay, those old strategies are good, but bring them back with new and fresh ideas. And these are fantastic times, but also uncertain times, and we need to be prepared for that, all those changes, and try to be resilient. So thank you for creating these spaces where we can share.
Yeah, and I
Thank
just wanted
you.
to say,
Oh, sorry, no, Trevor, you go first. I'm gonna go last.
okay. Yeah, Mel, I just wanted to say, and I'll speak slower now. I just wanted to say that you must be very proud with how these sessions are coming off. They are wonderful resources, and I know I'm very happy to be a part of it. And to everyone who is watching with us right now, I would just say keep creating and keep celebrating.
I want to thank Mel and all of you for giving these wonderful ideas. It has been a pleasure to be in your presence and learn so much. And I just want to echo what Sheila said. Let's not go back to the focus on the teacher-centered way of teaching, and us even guiding the students through creativity. Let's let the students be in the front doing all the creations, because we are creating a generation of creators, and a creator needs to be allowed to be free and explore. So that's what we need to enhance. We need to let the kids, our students, they're not always kids. I always call them kids. We need to allow the students to create, and through mistakes or errors or just exploring, learn the way a creator would. And let's enhance that, because it is a creator economy that is happening right now, with moving from web 2 to web 3. So let's just keep enhancing that, so we can offer our students the possibilities of more job opportunities. It's up to us to keep creating and enhancing that movement, like Sila very correctly said. Thank you again for this opportunity.
Thanks, Kiki, and thank you all. Special thanks to Trevor, because he's the one that actually came up with the idea for these sessions, by the way. So inspired by him, but of course inspired by all of you. Thank you so much for taking the time today to be able to share out whatever you did share today, inspired someone. So very quickly, this is how you can contact each of the presenters today. You can also see it in their names if you want to take a screenshot, so you can follow each other or follow them if you have not connected previously. So if you have any questions for each of the presenters today, because they only had about 10 minutes each to share what they had to share, then go ahead and connect with them on those. Good habits. And coming up, so next Saturday, we have the third volume of this Celebrating Creativity, which is very exciting, for presenters from around the world sharing how they like to celebrate creativity. And then there'll be another date in September, which I will let you know when that's happening. But yes, thank you all again for watching, or whether you're watching the replay or watching it live. We appreciate your support, and hopefully you enjoyed, and see you soon. Bye.
Thank you, Mel. Bye.